The PL Show is brought to you by Kel Chaco, Kel 360, and Kel Kids Toothpaste. Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. My guest today is a founder of many things, so it's just right that we speak to her today. She's a phenomenal lady with the strength, the passion, multifaceted, I would say. She's an ambassador. She's the CEO of Collage Media. When you talk about Glitz Africa, I'm sure that one rings a bell now. It sends it right home. The CEO is here herself. Madame Claudia Lumor is my guest today here on the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. My outfit, as always, is brought to you by Kafui Clothing. Also, my makeup, African American Beauty Academy in Danceman. The contacts are rolling for you to contact them for all occasions as well. This is the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. I am Emefa Apawu. With a round of applause, it's a good time. Let's welcome Madame Claudia Lumor, phenomenal by all standards, joining us right here on the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. Hello. You welcome.
Hi.
Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I should say I'm starstruck at this point because I've been hearing and seeing you all over the place. So it's good to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me
to be on the show today. This is the Kel Toothpaste PL Show, brought to you by Kel 360, Kel Chaco, and Kel Kids. Please take a seat. Thank you. Welcome.
Mommy.
Michelle say, fe. Yum.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Chaco toothpaste, healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Chaco toothpaste, Sankofa,
Yenchi, Kel Chaco toothpaste.
Happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. This is the Kel Toothpaste PL Show, as always brought to you by Kel Kids, Kel 360, and Kel Chaco Toothpaste. And I'm sure you're all seated and you've called a friend to call a friend because Claudia Lumor is on the show. Phenomenal lady by all standards, and she's with us here in the studios today. Welcome once again to the Kel Toothpaste PL Show.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that.
What have you been up to?
Are you sure you have the time on the show?
Briefly, summary.
No, I've been up to all sorts. I'm a mother of 3 children, so that keeps me. I have like every other person, running a business up and down. I also do things for the UN. I have a lot of clients that...
Plus tourism ministry as well and all that.
Yeah. So, my day is usually back to back. Yes.
We're getting ready for a Glitz Award anytime soon.
Yes. We always have Fashion Week in October, Style Awards potentially in December. And we have She Summit that we're doing all around the country. And we also have Collage Media, which is our production company that is every day working on and producing a corporate event here and there. So we're quite busy, but we make time for things that are important. So that's why I'm here with you.
Thank you. Growing up as Claudia Lumor, the little Claudia Lumor, all the way back, how would you describe it, you'd say?
I was blessed to have an amazing parents. We were, I would say, a middle-class family. My parents work very hard. They all work for themselves. I never saw my dad or my father working for somebody. My dad had a big farm and grew that from little to producing sausages. So my father had that, and my mother had a shop selling, she was bringing things from UK, clothing for children. So as long as I knew my mother and I grew up with her, she was always traveling and bringing in clothes for children. And Kumasi, she was very popular because she probably bring the best clothing for Christmas.
You grew up in Kumasi?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
a Kumasi girl.
Do you a tiny ba?
Me pachoi.
Hey, that's nice to know. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
So I saw very hard-working 2 parents, and we are 5 5 of us. We were kids that had holidays abroad when we go on vacation, but it wasn't because, now, you know, thinking back, it wasn't because they had a lot of money, but it's because my parents were very keen in giving us some sort of exposure and getting us to be very confident about ourselves and know the world. And I really applaud them for that.
Okay, what would you say about growing up shaped you into the woman that you are today, apart from getting the exposure and everything? Some would say you had a very comfortable, you know, childhood, but what about it would you say shaped you into who you are today?
Everybody has their own perception about comfortable, but I would say it was a blessing, you know, and I believe that when you're growing up and also now having my own children, I look back and I really appreciate what we went through as children. My parents were very strict as well, but I believe, you know, seeing them working for themselves, I think I got the person that I am now, and the way I approach life and the way I approach my work and my work ethics, and like I am a go-getter, like I go where. So I think all of those things, I mean, I saw my mother doing all of that with 5 children and also looking after a lot of children, and she was very early all the time, like, you know, breastfeeding and taking children, and always at the shop early in the morning, traveling around. My mother was like mother of many, you know, one of those women that everybody's child is their child. So sometimes I don't even know whether to say we're 4, we're probably 10 or 15, but that's the soul of the woman that she is. And I believe that I got a bit of that from her, because even though I have 3 children, everybody, and I'm my age, like, you know, people start calling me mommy when I was even in my 20s, because I behaved like everybody's mother or everybody's big sister. So I believe all of these things together, and how strict my father was, and also the fact that I was the eldest, even though my elder brother, you know, he wasn't born here, so he had always lived abroad. So all that, I have been the eldest in the family, and I had that responsibility to make sure that I do not let my siblings down, and a lot of them were looking up to me. And I think that responsibility stuck with me through all my journey and growing up, and I wanted to be proper. I wanted to make sure, you know, at a very young age, I always wanted to live my life to impress, not to impress my parents so much, but also for myself, to be proud of myself, because I cannot fail, because then what was my sister come back with the report? You know, so it's always been at the back of my head, and I was senior girls prefect from school, like all of these, because leadership has always been part of my journey, because of probably how I grew up.
I'll take you into school since you were head girl. Which school is that? And you haven't told me about at which point you started school. Did you school in Ghana? And since you're head girl, I don't know, which school is it?
I schooled in Kumasi, so I went to Anglican Secondary School in Kumasi, then I went to KNUST. After KNUST, I moved out of the country, and I went to University of Westminster in London.
Did a bit of law there.
So I did economics and law at KNUST.
Oh, what a combination.
I'm not sure if they do that. I believe at the time we didn't have law school, so on campus. So I mean, I'm old, I'm over 40 years. So, when you saw Shin, when you saw a day, difference.
I saw the end two Nina.
David, maybe a back home, but me back home. So I'm always trying to. I love results. So I think when people come closer to me, and I demand results, and I think for that reason, like, people see that, oh God, like, you can't really mess around. Because I don't like messing around, and I don't want you to mess around. I believe you don't want to waste your time, you don't want to waste your life. So don't do that to me, to mine. But I think said but
oh yeah, sure.
Maybe I may try which one. No, me a back up, me a back on. Because we are missus here.
Oh,
maybe she movie and I'm used to.
Oh, the same.
It's no day.
And they know the passion I said.
Then you search, but many a day.
I said warmer way inside, but I said I didn't know mobile. But also in Chester, we need a day. That's all you two need now. I say that because at some point when you came back to Ghana, it appears that you just came and you burst onto the scene, Claudia Lumor everywhere. Like, how did that happen?
What I found was a solution to something that was needed. And I believe every entrepreneur, when you have that mindset and you research, and you come onto the market with something that people are ready for, automatically you do well. because when I moved back to Ghana, I moved back into a bank, and I wasn't in a rush. Again, I'm never somebody who always like in a competition with anybody. I take my time to do everything I want to do because as I said, I want results, and I'm the most hardest person on myself because I always want to look at myself in the mirror and know that, Claudia, you did 110%. And I did a lot of research, and I realized that Ghanaians have great stories, but who was telling them in a very tasteful way? I wasn't pleased with that. I could see Nigerians doing that, and I don't have any journalism background. I mean, I come from banking and law, but I was like, I like to see things done well. And I'm genuinely happy when I see people doing well, especially people who've taken their time and they're really working hard and doing well. So I thought, why don't we document it better in a magazine? And I think Ghana was ready for that, even though people told me that, Claudia, you're just going to waste your time.
Yeah, because there were other magazines that failed, you've seen them and all that.
But I think what I offered Ghanaians was something that we didn't have. We didn't have a real lifestyle magazine. We had an events magazine that was giving people funeral pictures, wedding pictures, and I was tired of that. Because when I want to relax after a hard day work, I don't think I want to watch pictures of somebody's funeral that I can relate to, or somebody's wedding that I have no clue who the person is. I want to relax with a magazine that I know that I can at least get a bit of health tips from, a little bit of finance from, a little bit of how to start my business, or how to wear beautiful, the clothes that you're wearing, how to put them together. So I felt we were lacking in real lifestyle magazine. So I think that's why I've offered Ghanaians, and for that reason, I think my brand
and it didn't stay at just a magazine. Now it's evolved to where it is. We've been talking about a few of it, and the recognitions that you've had. We'll get into them briefly. The Seed to Oak segment, and that's brought to you by Kel Kids toothpaste, and it makes brushing time fun time for all children between 2 and 6 years. It has strawberry flavor in there, and making it easy for them to always brush their teeth. Is approved by the FDA and very affordable. Please stay with us after the break.
Brush, 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 brush your teeth. Brush, 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 2 times a day. Brush with Kel Kids.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kel Kids Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky chicky whiter, chicky chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel Kids. Happy smile.
Welcome back. This is the Kel Toothpaste PL Show, as always brought to you by Kel Kids, Kel 360, and Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. But really, let's now get into a typical day of Claudia Lumor. I know that results-oriented, open temp, every day has to be quickly. How does it look like?
I wake up in the morning, make sure my kids are ready for school. We always say a prayer.
You do that yourself?
No, I have a nanny.
Okay.
Trust me, girl. You can't do all of this by yourself.
No.
But I have an amazing support at home, and I always say I stand on all of them. I stand on their shoulders to be the woman that I am. Yeah, but I always make sure that I'm there with the children, have breakfast, and then we always say our prayers before they leave, and then come back, work on my emails, calls. My humanitarian stuff that I'm doing, and then I start my meetings back to back, and then so my day is always fully packed. Honestly, I don't have time. I'm not lucky like some people that they go to work and then they get lunch break 1 hour. I've never had that before. So I don't
even
remember
know what that means. Like, I don't know how it goes.
I always envy people who get to go on an
and read newspapers.
Break. Yes, I am not privileged like that. I am hustling too much.
I know that you talked about how you planned it out to come back to Ghana and do what you're doing now. But at what point, what would you say pushed you to come back home?
I love Ghana. I am a very proud Ghanaian. I can never see myself living anywhere else, but aside Ghana. And even at a young age, my mom will tell you every time we even travel, like I'm asking when are we going back to Ghana? I believe at some point education can take you, outside the country, and that's what took me outside the country. But when I was done as well, I was lucky. I got into the bank in UK. Anybody that lived in London would know Abbey National, Santander Bank. So I worked with them for a few years. But even though I was doing very well in the bank, because within like 6 months, I'd changed like into like a low position into like a, very high position, and I was only the black girl in my region and all of that. So I did very well for myself, and I could see myself doing even better. But of all of that, I kept pushing because I wanted the experience. They thought I was there forever, but I was there. I knew I was going to go back to Ghana. It's always been, and at some point I had to really go, because I told somebody that I would be sitting at Canary Wharf and all I could see was Kotoka Airport. So at that point I knew I had to go back home. And also there's something, the impact. I look at myself 10 years in the UK and 10 years in Ghana, and probably what I could achieve. Everything's been done. Everything's been done in abroad, wherever you live. Some people, their calling is to be there. So I guess at some point when you assess yourself and you know that that's not your calling, then you move where your calling is. But I couldn't see myself doing that. And I'm so thankful to God that He put out my heart to come back to Ghana, because the things that we've achieved in Ghana through the brand and through the lives that have been touched, and I'm so humbled by that. There's no way I could have made this impact in the UK in 10 years.
Yeah, and I know that you're engaged in a number of humanitarian activities.
I think mainly most of the things that I've done is centered around women and children. I know men would not like me for this, I always say, but this world is a man's world. So very little things that we can do to support other women to stand up for themselves and to push them, and to see examples of other women doing well is really important. So, and I guess with what I was doing, that's how UNFPA saw me and approached me, because my appointment didn't come from Ghana, it came from the US UN headquarters. And I was like, how do they even know I existed? But it also shows that every corner and where you are and what God has given you, whatever God has blessed you with, the little corner that you are, you should be mindful of the position and where you sit, and make sure that whatever you're doing is impacting other people. And I've been humble. I've done this for over 5 years with the UN, and we've done a lot of work with women in fistula, training for a lot of young people, working with policymakers, and for myself as well. I love working with pregnant women. I've got 3 children myself, so most of the things that I've done is around women and children.
With all that, is there anything really that draws Claudia Lumor back? Any fears? Anything that sometimes you wake up and you're like, I wish I'm not supposed to do, I wish I'm not doing this? You have any fears at all?
I feel like I'm not too I don't have like some sort of expectation like, okay, 6 months I want to do this. I take each day as it comes. But one thing that I always say that I don't want my children to Google their mother's name in 20 years time or whenever, whether I'm here or I'm gone, and see things that will disappoint them. So I always have that at the back of my my head, that the way I live my life, I'm very intentional with how I live my life, everything I do. And that's why people say that, maybe, I've heard people call me Margaret Thatcher, they've called me all of that. It's because I'm very careful what I'm doing. I haven't got time. Even if you invite me out for dinner, I'm going to think about it twice. What is this going to do for me? I just thought, and I don't keep a lot of friends. My name is everybody, you don't see me anywhere because I'm very careful with how I do everything that I do. And I understand, women in media, all of you, everybody has a responsibility, because people listen to you, people see you, and people want to be like you. So I believe that responsibility, God put us in certain position for a reason, and we shouldn't take that for granted. I believe these are some of the things that are my fears, and I pray and I work towards them all the time, every time.
I see the message in there, and I've picked picked it up. I'm going to practice it as well. But since you have less fears, at least this is really no fear for Claudia Lumor, because you're able to surmount it. Are you looking at, you know, taking up high office, or you would want to just stay in the media? Are we looking at Claudia Lumor banner in the next for 2024 elections, for instance, which is around the corner?
I guess when you are passionate so much about people doing well, about changing the narrative, about leadership, I guess people watch you as well. And sometimes we all have mentors. We all have people that we go to and speak to. And throughout my journey, I've supported a lot of people in leadership and work on strategies to support them and let them do well and all of that. And I do a lot of that behind the scenes with very powerful figures. And so it's put me at the doors of power for a very long time. And yes, I've had a lot of conversations from leaders who want me to step into the limelight of politics. So that's all I'll say, but give you a few months and then see what.
So these powerful people, are they from NDC? Are they from MPP? Where are they
leadership
pushing?
Is leadership,
where are they leading
madam.
you towards? Where are they leading you towards?
Leadership is leadership.
So
let's just say that. End of the day, we want to. I want to impact a lot of people. I believe that if I finally make that step, I know that it would inspire a lot of young women, and I've had an opportunity to look up to a lot of women who've done this and still are very graceful and still kept a really great reputation. And I want to continue that. I want to be able to give that, to live that life that, you know, you can still do this and be graceful and still have a reputation. And Ghanaians are no more just insulting politicians for insulting them sake. No, people are reading now. People, you know, they question things that has to be questioned, and they're demanding things that are due them. But I don't believe in people just saying that, oh, our politics is just about insult. I still believe
I'm just going to get to that, because we've had women who are doing a lot in that space, but they tell you how difficult it is to stay in that sector. Are you ready for that kind of life?
I believe so, because I mean, throughout my journey, and I've been a public figure for so many years, so I understand how it is like for people to like you or not to like you, and decisions that you make. But you need to look at the bigger picture. You need to look at the impact that you're hoping to make. And I always say that there's got to be a calling in there for everybody, because it's such a tough job to do, and to try and impact thousands and millions of people, it's really tough. And if it's not really some sort of calling in there, then why are you in there? And I really believe that whatever I'm feeling and whatever God has put on my heart, it really must be part of my journey, my purpose in life, you know, to really, you know, impact a lot of people. And how better way to do it than to be in front or to lead people and be in leadership, where you can actually be part. You're not, you know, making an impact from the back, which I've been doing for so many years, but you're actually in front now, you know, taking responsibility of what you've been preaching.
But looking at the creative industry, tourism in Ghana, at least you've been at the forefront. Are you happy with where we are when it comes to our creatives, our tourism industry in this country?
Ghana is blessed with a lot of talent, and as somebody who's groomed, I'm a creative person as well, and I'm a businesswoman as well, and I've seen creatives and I've worked with creative, and I actually feel for them, because I feel like the creative side, we've got it so well, because our boys and our women are so talented, but the business side we failed, because I've known a lot of creative people that at the moment, like I look at them and 5-10 years down the line, their lifestyle haven't really improved. So it means that something is missing along the way. So I believe that government is doing a lot. And I know our government is passionate about creative industry, but sometimes it's not implementation. How we implement it is the challenge. And I really believe that we can make that happen. But that's where I feel like we're missing out, the business part of it.
I had our government in there, so my question earlier has been answered. I get it.
No, our government, your government, because we have government in power at the
all
moment.
our governments. I hear. I'll take that. This is the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. It's always brought to you by Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. There's no need to use ground charcoal. to get that white teeth. You need a kale charcoal to give you that white teeth all the time. It's FDA approved and is safe for the families to use as well. In the industry that we are now, there are a lot of young ones who would want to climb up and be like you, but they would not want to go through the hard work to climb to get to that point. We've seen the era of slave queening and people who are aspiring actually to be side chicks amongst others. Now that we have you, you are the best voice to hear from, to speak to these children or young ones directly. What will be your message to them?
I mean, even hearing you talk about it, it really saddens me because it's such a shame. And I have a daughter as well. And I want my daughter to grow up and see, women like yourself that are working really hard and have a good reputation. I don't want my daughter to Google and go online and all they see is easy way of living, thinking that use what you have to get what you want. And I actually feel for this generation because the influences on social media is just too much. But they should understand that you could be your authentic self. There's too much bad out there, but there's also a lot of good examples out there. Fish for the good ones, and follow the good ones as well. Be ready to work. So I would just say that young people, let's just be authentic to ourselves and understand the hard work indeed actually really pays. You will get the fast life and the beautiful life now, but can you sustain that? For the long run, and that's what people need to be thinking about years down the line, and not just today.
Okay. If I were to speak to your staff, for instance, how would they describe you? Chew on that. I'll come back and take that response from you. But it's a good time to bring in 360 of Claudia Lumor, brought to you by Kel 360.
Claudia Lumor is the founder of Collage Media, producers of Glitz Africa magazine, a premium and aspirational lifestyle publication which seeks to highlight the lifestyle of the contemporary African. Glitz Africa championed and pioneered the developing fashion industry we have here in Ghana now. Thus, she is highly regarded for her innovation and commitment to fashion development in Ghana and in the sub-region. She's also a UN Ambassador Ghana under the UNFPA and Ghana Tourism Ambassador for Fashion Development. She has led key fundraising and projects for UNFPA as their Goodwill Ambassador. She has been celebrated on various platforms for her passion for women and children advocacy. Claudia is indeed a phenomenal woman.
Wow, that's Claudia Lumor. Thank you once again for all the things that you do.
Thank you so
but
much.
I was asking about how your staff will describe you. Do you have an idea what they will
How
say
they describe
about
me?
you?
I mean, I joke around a lot with them, but I believe that they will say that I'm somebody that, I push them to be best, because sometimes you come to me and say, no, just go back and get it, do it and bring it back to me. And so, and I do that for a reason, because I believe that they're great and I believe that they can be better, and that's what I do to myself. So I want to be able, but nobody did that for me. I had to internally build this personality and build a strong mindset to myself. But if I can push somebody to do that for themselves, I think I would have done a good job as a leader.
Briefly, we'll talk about Glitz. How has it been pulling it off year round?
Girl, it's hard, and it's still hard because, I mean, as every business, even, getting the funding to do projects, events is always really hard. Getting advertisers, convincing business and advertisers to advertise in the magazine, they're all very hard. But I believe in the brand. I believe in where we sit. I believe in the impact that we are making as a brand. So that really keeps me going, and I keep pushing ourselves and telling the stories that we are telling. So we've had our challenges, and we're still having our challenges. I'm a visionary, so I like to look at the bigger picture things and just, push through everything.
Well, I know a number of people who would want to celebrate you even now as we speak. I have a little surprise for you. Okay. I know you
I'm
don't
very
like
hard to surprise.
Yes, I know
So
you don't like surprises. So,
I'm surprised. And you have a surprise.
So we'll just do that briefly.
Claudia Lumor is
Hey!
my elder sister. growing up as kids. She's always been very smart, very strong. She's somebody that always wants to lead, even when we were kids. I mean, when we were playing and there's any sort of a skit or drama or anything that we do, she would want to be the auntie or the mother or anything that has to do with being the leader. I can say without a doubt that she's really an inspiration for her family. She pushes all of us to be the best at what we do.
Claudia is like a second mom to all of us, her siblings, always stepping in to helping every time my mom is not around. My sister is a very determined woman, very strong-minded and always focused. I mean, sometimes you'll be sitting with her and all of a sudden she's so quiet and you look at her and you know that her mind is somewhere else thinking about the next event or the next thing that she has to do to make a difference and all that. So she's part of her now that, I mean, she cannot change. Let me just put it that way. Claudia, I'm so proud of you and how far you've come. She's truly the big sister.
Claudia is a close friend of mine. We've been friends for close to 10 years. We met through our children when they were attending the same nursery school almost a decade ago. She's caring. She is not a fair weather friend. She will be there for you at any point.
I laugh and I cry.
To me, Claudia is the definition of a phenomenal woman. You know, she loves celebrating people. She's always encouraging of me and our other friends. I love Claudia. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, Lena. Oh, my God. Wow.
Wow. I think I have made it in
Wow.
life to be able to get you to drop a tear here and there. You got surprised.
Wow. And my sisters, they're all not here. My younger one, Bettina, is a lawyer, but she's doing her legal stuff. Oh, wow. Larry, this has to be Larry. Naughty Larry. It has to be Larry. Getting their numbers. Wow, that's really special.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See how you inspire everyone, and
Thank
even
you
your
so
little
much.
sisters are happy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the inspiration and how you do it. I don't know how you do it, but at least now I've learned a bit from you. We are inspired. We are happy that you're there for all of us. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. But really, we have a little gift for you.
Oh, why are you guys so nice?
You have everything,
This is not good.
But we can still
Stop
give
being
you
nice.
some more. We have Kel Charcoal, Kel 360, and Kel Kits, and a wide range of product from Samara Company Limited for you. And that's not all. Queens like you and phenomenal women like you deserve to be celebrated. So ni masasigra.
Papa B.
Inti one kasa wasasigwani. From us to you.
Oh my God, can I give you a hug?
Yes, please.
Oh God, thank you, baby. Thank you. I appreciate this.
Thank you so
very
much. Anytime you see this, remember that the queen that you are, you always take your rest and take your seat.
Thank you. Oh my God, you've got my name on it.
Yes.
Oh my God, you guys are amazing.
Thank you so much once again.
I've never had an interview like this before. This is so special.
We should do it again. We should do it again then. Thank you.
Well
and
done.
I want to bring out the media person in you, so maybe you should sign us off. Then we can call it a wrap on the Kel Toothpaste PL show.
Thank you for watching today. And thank you for watching Emefa and myself at this beautiful interview. My name is Claudia Lumor, and I'm sure she will see you next time.
Thank you so much. And it's been the Kel Toothpaste PL show brought to you by Kel Charcoal, Kel 360, and Kel Kits. Another edition comes your way. I am Emefa Apawu. Thank for your company, and thank you, Claudia.
Thank you. I am so happy.
Thank you so much. Thank you once again.
You,
Keep inspiring us.
Thank you so much.